Hello guys, and in this video we are going to see how to set up Kubernetes multi-node cluster on the top of Google Cloud Platform. So to set up the Kubernetes cluster, we need at least 2 virtual CPU and 2 GB of RAM in each of node. In this setup, I will use around 2 GB of RAM and 2 virtual CPU for each machine, or I can also go with the 2 CPU and 4 GB of RAM. Okay, and after we will create the machine, so we will have to install the Docker, because that is the basic need to set up the Kubernetes, because behind the scene Kubernetes use the Docker. So after setting up the Docker, then we will have to install kubedm, kubectl and kubelet commands in our system. And for these things we have to also configure the repository, because these software are not available in the default repository of our Linux system. So let's start the story. So I'm going to create the machine on the top of Google Cloud Platform. So just click on the create machine. Okay, create instance, and it is loading. Now I'm going to give the name Cubase, because after creating this we need to create the machine image from this, which will be used in all the master and slave mode. Okay, so I'm going to with E2 series and 2 virtual CPU and 4 GB of RAM, and the machine image I am going to choose Red Hat Enterprise Linux and Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8, and size will be around 30 GB. Okay, don't forget to check out allow HTTP and allow HTTPS. Okay, we will also need to allow the ports, which we will do after some time. So just create this machine. Okay, this may take some time, around 1 minute. They are creating the machine. So my machine has been created successfully. Now just do the SSH from the browser. Okay, so just do SSH. This will create this will pop up a new window in the browser. Okay, they are transferring the keys to the VM. So now my machine has been connected. Okay, let me quickly update the system by running sudo yum update. Okay, so my system has been updated. Now we need to install the Docker Community Edition in our system. So for this we have to first of all configure the Docker repository. So just run this command. This will configure the Docker repository in our system. Okay, so I'm going to run this command. So Docker repository has been configured. If you wanna check, you can just go to cd/etc yum.repos.d in this folder. Okay, and you can check in this directory docker-ce.repo has been configured. Okay, so now you can install the Docker by running the command sudo yum install docker-ce. Okay, so this will install the Docker software in our system. Just wait for some time. Maybe this process is running, so I'm going to kill this process. Kill 116746. Okay, maybe they are not permitting this. Okay, now this is good to go. Just run the cd command and again run the sudo yum install docker-ce. So Okay, now they will install the, just press Y, they will install the Docker Community Edition. Just press again once. Now after installing, after Docker will be successfully installed, so we need to enable the Docker services and also start the Docker services. Why we need to enable? Because when we restart the system, so service will not automatically start if they are disabled. So we need to enable the Docker services. Okay, and till time they are doing, we can also go to the next step, that is we need to install the kubectl and kubeadm and kubelet command. So for that we also need to set up these things. We again need to set up the repository for these command to be installed, and let's do this thing. So Docker is installing. Okay, one more minute. So Docker has been installed successfully. If you just run docker info, okay, sorry, Docker is not running. So first of all, start the Docker services. So systemctl start docker. Okay, so for this you need to run this command with sudo. Okay, and now check the status of Docker services. You can also go to the root user, sudo system sysuser root. Okay, and now we can also check the status of Docker services. Systemctl status docker. Okay, so Docker is running. So now we need to enable the Docker services so that they can automatically start whenever we use our system. Okay, now let's move to the next step. Before going to next step, we also need to change one more thing. Docker is using the for cgroup driver. We need to change. For now they are using cgroup fs, but we need to change the systemd because Kubernetes need that driver. Okay, so just go to this documentation and follow these things. Just create this thing vim/etc daemon.json. okay, vim command not found, but /etc docker daemon.json. okay, and now here just copy and paste that code which I have given in this documentation. So just copy paste this thing. Okay, here, and colon wq. So now restart the Docker services. So driver will be changed. Okay, systemctl systemctl restart Docker. Okay, and if you again go to docker info, so driver will be changed to systemd. Okay, now we need to also stop the set clinux. Why? Because without disabling Kubernetes will not work. So set enforce 0. Okay, and just type get enforce. Okay, so this is permissive. Now we can install the Kubernetes. Okay, kubeadm, kubectl, and these things. So for this we need to copy this whole thing because this will configure the Kubernetes repository in my system. So for now, if I will go for installing the yum install kubeadm, So they say that command kubeadm is not there in their repository. Okay, so that's why just copy paste this thing. And okay, now we can run this command, okay, from the official documentation to install the kubelet, kubeadm and kubectl. Okay, so just copy this command and paste in the terminal. So sudo, okay, and they will install the kubeadm, kubectl and kubelet in our system. So they are downloading. This may take some time. As we can see that these things has been installed successfully. Just now start the kubelet services. Okay, so start kubelet and also make these services permanent. So enable kubelet. Okay, now we need to install one more software that is required by the Kubernetes, that is IP route-tc. So just install this software in our system. Okay, and after that we need to also set enforce to the permanent disable. Okay, so for that we need to run this command which is given in the official documentation. This command, just copy and run this command. Okay, and now all things are looking good. Now we need to run these command also for the network to enable the overlay network. Okay, so just run this command and reload the system sysctl. Okay, so okay, all things are working fine. Now we need to create the machine image. So for creating the machine image, just go to the machine image. Here you can find the machine image and just click on create machine image and choose this instance as the source. Okay, so my instance is Cubase and give any name. So I'm going to give the Kubernetes. Okay, creators. So and create. So this will create the machine image for me. This may take some time, so just refresh. Okay, and now machine image has been created successfully and we can launch multiple instances from this machine image. Just navigate to console.cloud.google.com and click on compute engine and go to the create instance and create the instance. So here we have to choose the instance creation from the machine image because we have created the machine image in the previous video. So I am going to select the machine image K8s which I have created in the previous video and click on continue. And now let's choose the whatever we want. So I am going to give the name master. Okay, and I am going to choose the region Northern Virginia and John. Okay, US East 4C, you can choose whatever you want. And for this instance I am going to choose 2 virtual CPU and 2 GB of RAM because this is the basic requirement of the Kubernetes cluster. If you go with less, so your Kubernetes cluster may not work or you may not able to launch multiple ports. Okay, now let's create this instance. So click on create and it will create the instance, or you can say virtual machine. Now we again need to create one more virtual machine for the slave node. So just wait for some time. Again click on create instance. So again choose new VM instance from machine image and select the machine image. Click on continue and give the name to this VM. So I'm going to give the name slave1. Okay, and I'm going to choose the same region Northern Virginia and the zone US East 4C, and again I'm going to with the 2 virtual CPU and 2 GB of memory and click on create. So this will create the VM for me. Okay, now let's again create one more VM. That one will be last because I need one master and 2 slave node. You can also see that master node has been launched successfully. Now again click on create instance and choose new VM instance from machine image and select your machine image. Click on continue and choose the same region. Why we need to choose same region? Because we do not want to do VPC peering, and if we want, you can go with that thing also. Now I am going to give the name slave 2 and region I am going to choose Northern Virginia and US 4 East 4C, and machine type will be 2 virtual CPU and 2 GB of RAM, and click on create. Okay, so let's wait for some time. Now as you can see that my master and slave 1 has been running successfully. So now let's connect to these instance. You can connect either from here, click on SSH, so this will open a pop-up in the browser and you can control your VM from the browser, but I don't want this because Chrome will consume a lot of memory, so I'm going with the CMD. So you need one program that's name is gcloud CLI. So search on Google. Okay, you can search on Google gcloud console. Okay, and download. So this will give you the link. Just click on that link and you can download the cloud SDK in your system. Okay, so I have already downloaded, and then after that you need to run only one command, gcloud.login, and you can log in with your gcloud account. Okay, and after that you can run any command of the gcloud from here. So I'm going to run gcloud compute instances list. So this will show me the all the instance list of my project, of my current project. So instances list. Okay, as you can see that slave 1, slave 2 and master is running. So I am going to connect firstly master node. So gcloud compute SSH and master. So this will do SSH in the master node with the user PRAJA. Okay, so now enter. Now this will open in the PuTTY. So you also need PuTTY software installed in your system. Now I am again going to do the SSH with the another system. So again run this same command, gcloud SSH, gcloud compute SSH, and the second node is slave 1. Okay, so they will again open in the PuTTY. Click on yes to save the keys, and I am again going to do the same thing for the third node, that is slave 2. So gcloud compute SSH slave 2. Okay, so now let's wait for some time. So now you can see that I am in the master node and it is successfully connected. So just run the command to change the user, sudo switch user root. Okay, so now I am in the master node with the root user. So let's check the status of firewall, because I think we forget to stop status firewall D. Okay, so it is running. We need to stop it because it will create some kind of challenges when we try to connect. So either you can allow the rules or you can disable it. So I'm going to stop and disable it. So stop it, then enable and disable it. So disable it. So disable. Now run the same commands in the save node also. So now it is disabled. Now let's create the Kubernetes master node. So to create the master node, we have to run the one command kubeadm init, okay, kubeadm init -pod -network -CIDR. We need to give the network range from which our pod will get the network IP. Okay, so I'm going to give the 10.10.0 okay, I'm going to give this range, sorry, /16, and click enter, press enter. So this will set up the master node. You can also check the connectivity to the master node by using the ping master. We can check up the ping command. So they are pinging to each other. That's good. Now let's wait for some time. They will create this system as a master node, and they will give some kind of joining link. So we have to run that link or that command in the slave node so that our slave node can join the master node. So you can see that kubeadm join, we need to run this command in the slave node. Okay, but before that we need to run these commands so that we can see the status of the cluster. So kubectl get nodes we need to run for checking the status of nodes, but they don't know anything for now because they don't know where is the configuration file. So we need to run these commands, okay, which they are showing here, because we need we are going to use the cluster. So run these commands, okay, and run this command also. And now we can check the status of the cluster. So you can see that cluster has been launched successfully, but it is not ready yet. So why it is not ready? Because overlay network is not set up till now. So we need to set up the overlay network. So for setting up the overlay network, we have to use the Flannel. So just type Flannel Kubernetes install GitHub and you will get the link at the top, and here they will give you some pre-created things. So just run this command here and this will set up the overlay network for you. So I'm going to run this in the master node, okay. So this will set up the overlay network, and in this some time Kubernetes master node will be ready. So just wait for some time. Okay, so they are again checking, and you can see that status is ready. Now our master node, our slave node can join this cluster. So just run this command in the slave node and they can join the master node. So I'm going to run here this command, okay, and if all things are fine, so they will join the master node. And here you will see the status of the, here you can see that this node has joined the cluster. So you can again run the command to get how many nodes are connected. So you can see that slave 1 has been now connected, and you can again run the same command in the slave 2, okay. So this is inactive. Let me again click on duplicate session. So this will create the new session for you, and click on sudo switch user -root, okay. Now run this command here. Sorry. So now run this command. Where that command goes? Here, kubeadm join command, okay. We need to run this slave 2 also. So run this command and they will join the cluster, and you can see the status of the cluster from here again by running the Kubernetes kubectl get nodes. So you can see that slave 2 is also connected and slave 1 is now ready, and again in some time they will also get ready. So thank you so much guys for watching this video.